TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Shalom, shalom from Israel.
Absolutely. Well, you know, like every week, it's a big week.
Yeah, well, what's
Got a
big
haircut.
Oh, but yeah, shouldn't have said that, Joe. Huh? All my hair went to his face. Look.
Yeah, I cut his hair. He asked me for a haircut, so I said, okay, just got the machine out.
I can't believe he did this to me. Look at me. I can't go to this. I'm going to have to stay home and hide all the time.
Yeah.
Just joking. I sort of like it like this. It makes it nice. You can wash it every time you wash your face. You just wash your hair too.
Yeah, with the regular soap.
Yeah.
It works good. Well, this week, Hamas is still sending balloons, you know, with the fire and the explosions and everything, and Israel really isn't responding much, like they promised they would, but they're not.
Well, of course, he's going to blame all that on Bennett, but
well, who's in charge?
But they have been bombing the
one time
Hamas,
last week
Hamas facilities and training camps.
No, not really.
Anyway, we read two different newspapers.
Another Israeli container ship was attacked. This seems to be the new thing. Remember the first time we brought it up, you talked about how Iran is trying to get the same deal as Hamas with the tick-for-tack thing. Well, close to the UAE, United Arab Emirates, another Israeli ship was attacked. And again, the same MO. No one was killed, and the ship wasn't damaged in a way where it got sunk. It's just damage.
Yeah, but I also read that it used to be an Israeli ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was at one time an Israeli ship, and they thought it was an Israeli ship.
Huh.
I can't remember who it was. Chile or somebody that is in charge of that ship now. But anyway, that was the latest thing on the news.
I didn't know that. The government has voted on the Citizen Law. Now, this Citizen Law thing is something that's been going on for 17 years. That every year when it comes up, they have to re-vote it in. And what it is it's stopping the Arabs from being able to bring in all their family members, just blanketed with no checks or anything, into Israel as Israeli citizens from our Arab countries, neighboring countries.
Yeah, it stops them from doing things also like the Palestinian men can find an Israeli girl that'll marry him.
Yep.
And then through that, he's able to recruit his whole family behind him into citizenship, and they can be terrorists, they can be anything.
Yeah, everyone's blaming Likud for it not passing through, but they're the opposition. The reason it didn't pass, when Likud was at the helm, it passed every year. Every time they passed this law because of they had a normal coalition. With this coalition, you have Arab parties involved and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not going to vote for this law.
No.
Yeah.
Well. It's also, Netanyahu's a political animal.
Absolutely.
He knows that it's going to hurt Bennett if he didn't pass it right.
Yep.
So they dismissed by one vote.
Yeah, and they needed Likud's help. The first major law that this government done, it has to do, and the first thing they have to do is come to Likud, help us, please.
I think what troubles me with that kind of behavior is if they put personal political interests above the interests of the country. And I think, to me, it's obvious, but...
Well, the Likud right now, what they're doing is they've already got a law in process, which in 2 weeks they should be able to be voting on it, where it's going to put an end to this citizenship law for good. It's just going to redo the structure of the law there, and that was their plan from the beginning anyway. Yeah. And being so strong right-wing government right now, and right-wing parties having so much voted into the Knesset, they should be able to do it.
Yeah. It's an amazing thing in how everyone's interested in what's going on in Israel politics.
Yeah.
When the whole world is upside down political, especially America.
Yeah.
And if I was just sitting here thinking while he was talking just now, if I sat in some place in America watching this program, I would wonder, what are they talking about? With all these problems going on in America, and the Democrat cities all burning to the ground, and we're worried about somebody getting married to somebody because they're two different races. Oh, it's a mess. The world's a mess. God's got to pull his raft out here pretty soon. I thought he would do it last week when they had that big gay pride parade, but I better not go there.
Yeah. Bennett promised Mansour Abbas, also, he gave him 3,000 citizenships that he can choose what he wants to bring into Israel. That's what Bennett just did. I know you like Bennett still, but and on top of that, he also gave him more power in the Ministry of Interior, which means he has more power to decide now of things that happen in Israel. Because he made him second in command in Ministry of Housing. Now he's put him second in command also in the Ministry of Interior. This is Mansour Abbas, and gave him a blank check for 3,000 people to bring in to make citizenship, whoever he decides.
Yeah, and you couple that up with the fact of what he's turned the Negev. Now, the Negev is like half of Israel.
Yes.
Yeah. And Ben Gurion had great admirations and great desires for populating the Negev. And now it's got so bad in the Negev that a Jewish person is just almost impossible to live there. They rob, steal, and everything else, everything a Jew has.
Yeah.
And it's basically what their imam in the synagogue, in the mosque, is telling them to do. They're telling them to steal everything the Jews have.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah. Well, Lieberman, our new Minister of Treasury, he's trying to pass a new law to stop giving the Orthodox Jews money now, because up until now, they were given money by the government because they were considered to be doing the important thing of studying the Bible and everything, right? And so now Lieberman's trying to do that too at the same time.
There's a lot of people say what I'm getting ready to say, and there's a lot to it, and that's this, that the biggest enemy Israel has is not Hezbollah or Hamas or Iran. The biggest enemy they have right now for the destruction of Israel is the Haredim. Now, that sounds terrible. I know it sounds terrible. When I first heard it, I said, "Oh no, that can't be true."
Yeah.
But you start thinking about it. When they originally started this thing, way back during the Ben Gurion times, they said there was set aside 600 places for young Israeli Jews to go to the yeshivas and to study the Torah and the Tanakh, right? They was supposed to do that, but over the years it's got to where now they're almost the majority of the country.
Yeah.
And the reason is, I can understand what Lieberman did, because the reason is the more kids they have, the more money they get. I mean, this is no joke. They have 12, 15 kids.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
And it's unbelievable. I mean, you go to Betar Elid or Ner Sharim or Bet Shemesh, and you're going to find out that every time you walk down the street, you're going to see a lady that's pregnant with a baby carriage, and one in the baby carriage, 5 walking behind her.
Yeah.
And it's one right after another.
Yep.
And I'm glad that all these Jews are coming, but I want them to go to work. They don't go to school. They don't even study math. They only study Bible.
Yep.
And they don't work. They pay no taxes, and they're about half of the community of the country today. So, if some of those laws ain't changed, so I can understand where Lieberman's coming from.
Yeah. Well, this week also we had a new president change. It's our 11th president. His name is Yitzhak Herzog. His father was the president during the years of 83 to 93.
Yeah.
But now you can say the complete leadership of Israel has completely changed hands now.
And even further back than that, his grandfather was the chief rabbi of Israel.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost a family tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was a nice ceremony they had and everything.
If you watch him and listen to him, I've been for years. He's not a dynamo. He's a real He's a real peacemaker.
Yeah. Which is what you need as a president.
Oh, it's what you need. He's perfect for the president.
Yeah.
I think it was a great choice.
Well, Bennett was trying to make more restrictions this week for Corona stuff. He was trying to bring back the green passport, where you couldn't do anything unless you show your vaccination passport. But the Ministry of Health stopped him, which was great. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
they stopped him and they said, this is nonsense. We don't need all this stuff. Everything's still under control.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, also, they say this new variant or new mutation or whatever you want to call it. They say this new one, I can't even remember how to say it.
Delta, I think they call it.
Jobida or something like that. But anyway, they say it's bad. It's very infective, but it's not serious.
Yeah, you don't get super sick.
No one's dying from it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like we had 500 a couple of days in a row now, 500 or more, and no deaths, no hospitalizations even. I mean, just test positive.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it.
I want to talk about Lebanon a minute.
Okay.
We're in serious problem here. You know, in Lebanon right now, and Syria, but Lebanon is where the Hezbollah's at. Hezbollah has destroyed Lebanon, and the Lebanese people know it. But now they're the strongest factor there. The Hezbollah army is at least twice as strong as the Lebanese army. Matter of fact, Lebanese army is just about non-existent.
Yeah.
You know, and these people are hurting. They can't buy food. They don't have medicine. They don't have nothing. They're really hurting. I'm talking about 90% of the economy the economy of Lebanon, 90% of it is down 90%. I'll get it out right in a minute. It's down 90%. That means if you had $100 in your hand, it's only worth $10 in Lebanon.
Yeah.
You know, and then you'd be better spend it very quick before the $10 is no good.
It's no good.
It's bad. People are starving to death.
Yeah.
And what that means to us, we got Hezbollah up there with 200,000 rockets all aimed at our cities and waiting for Iran to say pull the trigger.
Right.
So it's a
Absolutely.
bad thing. We
situation.
need to pray about it. We need to really ask the Lord to really intervene here and pray, and not only just for Israel, but for these poor people. These are women and children that not getting the proper food and medicine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and not being able to stay out of the heat, and by wearing like the rest of the world, we're in a tremendous heat wave.
Yeah.
It's very sad. I pray for them all the time.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com, and until next time.
Shabbat shalom from Israel.
Bye-bye.